Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the Ground Grown podcast. We are still here in Central Ground CrossFit, headquarters of the Ground Grown podcast. Of course, with me is our guest speaker. You'll get to know him in a bit.
Hey guys.
And of course,
Big boy.
Big Boy.
Santa.
All right. Real quickly before we go into the episode, we just want everybody to please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube account. We also have a SoundCloud and an iTunes podcast account up there. Please look at the links that will be provided, so please go ahead and subscribe to that. Follow us as well on Instagram, and please like our page on Facebook. So, without further ado, we have our very first guest speaker, and of course, why look so further other than our own best box friends forever, hashtag
Yeah.
BBFF. We have Coach Pip Conde in the house. Yeah! Woo! So, before anything, Pip, really thank you for joining us today. It is quite an honor, and of course, it's something that we've always wanted to do and sit down and talk with you. So,
thank
real
you.
quickly, let's just talk about your background. So, please go ahead and tell us about yourself, who you are, why did we bring you here, where do you come from?
I honestly don't know. I'm just like a clown here. But kidding aside, I guess I'm one of the coaches here in the country who've really tried to develop the sport as a whole in terms of fitness and in education and whatnot. I started out in this fitness movement about maybe 10 years ago, from starting with martial arts just first. A lot of it has to do with functional movement and whatnot. But I got into CrossFit about 4 years ago and saw a sort of a gap that needed to be filled in the country when it comes to fitness and education of fitness. So we opened up CrossFit Infinitas with my sisters and a few other family friends, and the rest is history. We created sort of the premier box in the north side of Manila, in Quezon City, to try to bring up the quality of CrossFit in the whole country.
Yeah.
Even Asia-wise, you know.
How long have you been coaching for?
I've been coaching intently for about 3 years.
Okay.
A lot of it has been hodgepodge at the start, of course, you know. A lot of us didn't know what the heck we're doing, but over time, I guess 3 years would be a good number for you.
And in those 3 years, to my knowledge, you are one of the highest certified coaches, in fact, here in the Philippines. So go ahead and let our listeners know, if you can just list down real quickly what those are.
All right. I took my CF level 1 back in 2012, the end of 2012, and then after that, I went straight the next year to get my gymnastics trainer certification, and I got my weightlifting trainer certification as well that same year.
Yeah.
And then following that up with the year after with my level 2 coaching.
Right.
So aside from the CrossFit certifications, I've been apprenticed by one of the top coaches in the whole world, Dusty Highland.
Right, yeah. Of course, Dogtown CrossFit, if you don't know who Coach Dusty is.
Hi, Dusty. So
Peace.
I've been apprenticed for about 3 years already, and just taught me a lot of what it means to be a coach and programming and whatnot. So I think that sort of built more of who I am as a coach.
Right.
And being in constant contact with Mike Bergener, with Dave Spitz, and Sean Velas, all these coaches, and of course Mr. Joel Bui.
No, not high profile at all. No, so Pip is actually exposed to a lot of high profile, not just athletes, but also coaches. And that's why, bringing him in is a great honor for us, because we'd like to pick the minds of those who really know what they're talking about, especially in this industry. CrossFit Infinitas' headquarters is located in Quezon City, but you have a second branch.
Yeah. We opened up in Xavier in Green Hills. It's a smaller box. It's more of a community box than the headquarters, which we've tried to build as, exactly what it means, a headquarters of fitness, where we have most of everything. We handle nutrition as well as fitness to create one whole piece of a pie, I guess.
Yeah.
So, and Xavier is more of more of the community gym where a lot of the people there just really want to get fit.
Right,
They're
right.
not there for the breadth of like say focusing into gymnastics, into weightlifting, into competitive CrossFit.
Yeah.
They're there just to try to improve quality of life.
Gotcha. So that's another reason. I mean, we brought in Pip because he's also in the experience background when it comes to the brand expansion of things. He's not just dealing with athletes in a facility that's been around for 3 years. He's also been dealing with newer athletes, more community-based athletes. CrossFit Infinitas is known to be one of the more competitive boxes as well in the Philippines, but that would be headquarters. And then, as you mentioned, Infinitas X is more of really a community spot. And so, you know, having these kinds of coaches for us, or having these kinds of guest speakers, really put a lot of value. So we'll be talking a lot more about that later as our main topic, which today will be the athlete and coach balance, or if you want to flip it around, it kind of sounds the same, the coach-athlete balance. That's our main topic today. We'll also be hitting on holiday nutrition.
Yeah.
Very, very slightly. What are you supposed to be
All
eating?
the cake.
What are you not supposed to be eating? What can you do during the holidays? Because we've got about 2 weeks left. But if you add the New Year season here in the Philippines, it's really popular for us to celebrate that as well. So we've got about 2.5 weeks.
All the cake.
Yeah. We're going to do a quick fun segment. We're going to do one question, one answer. Real quickly. Letter A, or question number 1. How do you keep your beard game on point?
Oh damn. You gotta pray to the beard gods right there. Nah,
This
you
is
gotta get this.
Because this is me shaving every day.
This
For
is
like-
me not shaving for a day.
This is
This is me not shaving at all.
this. I shave for like this, and then 2 months later, it's still like this.
Oh my god, man.
So that doesn't happen.
Well, honestly, this year has more upkeep than this year.
I figured, yeah.
Because it's gonna look nasty.
Is there like oil? Do you use like
yeah.
shampoo?
Yeah, they have a specific shampoo and a specific oil and a beard conditioner as well.
Okay.
And you know, you gotta get that 100 strokes in with that
100
fine-tooth
strokes?
comb, you know? Getting that bone comb instead
Yeah.
of the metal comb.
Yeah. So if I shave every day, you think I'll ever get a beard like yours?
That's a good question, bro. I never heard of beard implants?
I
I've
I
always
need to
wanted
put
a beard.
something to grow a beard.
Well, you know, I've never been part of any beard community in the
Yeah.
country, but some people see me and they add me into that beard community.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a big thing.
It's a
There's
big
a lot
thing.
of people
It's a
here
big
who
thing.
have like an FAQ on how to grow a beard. And I was like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? I was shaving since I was 14. I've
Yeah.
had a beard since I was 16.
So you're one of the luckier ones. Favorite CrossFit movement?
For show and total athleticism, muscle up.
Muscle ups. Least favorite CrossFit movement?
Just because I suck at it because of my bones, of my body structure, the deadlift.
I was about to give those two answers. This is how you know I know this guy really well.
Yes.
Favorite cheat meal or food?
Oh man, all of it.
All of it. Specific restaurant, like your go-to restaurant if you were to go for a cheat meal.
You'd think I'm really corny, dude. Pizza Hut stuffed crust.
Pizza Hut. So that's an automatic answer to one of our questions for later on.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust. all
Favorite
day.
CrossFit athlete? One male, one female.
That's interesting. I like the dark horses, I guess. So, a few years back, I liked Noah Olsen.
Noah Olsen.
More recently, I kind of like Alex Anderson because he's also another dark horse who just comes out of nowhere.
The siblings are really strong.
Yeah,
The
dude.
siblings are really strong.
There's something in the water over there where they're from. Female, man, I love Lindsay. Lindsay Valenzuela has always been one of those people I really look up to. Because she's got all that heart, you know?
I thought it's because she's always chasing her numbers.
Oh, dude, that's a different story altogether. I actually told her that I beat her a few years ago. So, yeah.
She'll kill you.
Yeah, she did, probably.
Yeah.
That's what Dusty said.
Favorite CrossFit coach, male and female.
My boy, Dusty!
Male's
Oh.
a given, so Coach Dusty Highland, you got like 10 mentions already.
I know, right? I love you. No, but like, specificity aside, I like Ben Bergeron as well with how he thinks about programming and whatnot.
Yep.
When it comes to the female coaches, I generally don't really have a favorite one. I mean, like I've seen a few of them who have done really well when it comes to that, but more I like how the girls think with nutrition.
Right,
honestly.
yeah. They're very on point with nutrition.
Yeah, very on point. They're
Especially
a lot
one
better
of-
than guys when
yeah.
it comes to nutrition.
Especially one of my favorite coaches, Coach
How do you say-
Nadia.
Nadia, oh my god.
Nadia
She's like a
Shatir.
female coach crush for me
Coach
right
Crush.
now.
All right, burgers or tacos?
Tacos all day.
Cupcakes or donuts? The
Damn,
hesitation
son.
tells you a lot about it.
All right, donuts. Just 'cause.
Donuts, just because it's here. Hot dogs or pizza?
Pizza all day, son.
There you go.
Stuffed crust.
Stuffed crust, we already figured that out. All right, one thing that most people don't know about you.
A lot of
beard.
yeah.
Has a beard.
Yeah, you know, honestly, like I think a lot of people peg me as a jock and a musclehead. I'm a straight A student. I've been part of the honor section of my class for like
Nerds.
6
Nerd.
years.
Nerd.
Nerd.
Consistent dean's lister, and my major in college is literature, not sports.
Nerd.
Pretty much. I've been reading books since I was 4. The first book I ever read was an encyclopedia. Dude, my dad has like
It's
3
okay,
sets.
the first book I ever read was the Bible.
Oh,
Yeah, me too.
bow down, son. Yeah, but like my dad's got 3 sets of encyclopedias, and that's the first thing I read. By the time I was 5 years old, I read 20 classics and whatnot.
Sorry, we have a little bear
We
right
have
behind us.
we have a
over
pet,
here.
we have a pet right
We
here
have a pet bear over here behind us.
for extra strokes and cuddles.
All right, so that kind of gives you a quick idea already of who Coach Pip is, and of course why we also have him on the show. We really want to talk about this next topic because he does exemplify quite well and quite a lot about the topic that is being a coach and being an athlete at the same time. When we say being an athlete in the world of CrossFit, we specifically mean those that actually compete in the CrossFit competition side. We do understand that CrossFit is a methodology. At the end of the day, that remains to be true. It is a lifestyle form, it's a workout regimen, it is an exercise regimen. You can call it whatever you want, but to some people, they actually treat it as a competitive thing. That they work their entire year around the season, as they would like to call it. The season.
You got the
Zizbra.
season.
The Zizbra. The season being primarily revolving around the CrossFit Open. But we do have a lot of local competitions, and Pip is dominant in both
Wow.
can't deny that. He's dominant
Swole.
in all 3 segments. The weightlifting side, which is really popular in the CrossFit scene. The team edition workouts. Pip and I, we shared the podium a few years back with the little bear. Oh, the bear's gone.
The bear.
The bear is gone. We shared the podium a few years back in the team throwdown competition. And of course, also the individual competition. Pip is one of the more charismatic athletes of the Philippines. So we're now going to try to pick his brain a little bit and figure out why that is the case, which we start with our topic, the coach-athlete balance. First of all, Pip, what do we have to say about coach-athletes and athlete-coaches?
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting distinction simply because you think about it, you just seem to turn the words around. But I think the way that you spell it out sort of gives you an idea of what's a priority. I think that's basic thing that you have to understand at first and foremost if you're going to be a coach-athlete or athlete-coach. What are you first and foremost? Are you a coach then an athlete, or are you an athlete then a coach?
Right.
You know, because a lot of people get into this idea of coaching simply because they love CrossFit.
Right.
And every time I hear of somebody who says they want to be a coach or they want to open a CrossFit gym, the first thing I tell them is you don't open up a CrossFit gym because you love CrossFit. Because after a year or so, you're gonna hate CrossFit.
Right,
For
yeah.
sure. But the one question you have to ask yourself is why you want to open up a gym, or why you want to be a coach. So I think that the coach-athlete segment, as opposed to the athlete-coach, is when first and foremost your goal is for you to develop the people around you,
Right.
or do you want to develop yourself first?
Right.
Because honestly, any schmuck can be a coach. You know,
Right.
I think you know this personally as well. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people call themselves coach.
Any monkey can be up on the front, and if you just give them a good script, they'll be
Exactly.
the coach right away.
They're basically exercise facilitators. You know,
Yep.
they end up they end up following or trying to do what you tell them to do, but they don't necessarily know how to bring a person from point A to point B. But like I know this for a fact that a lot of people end up wanting to be a coach because like they give one cue.
Right.
And then the guy suddenly gets it. Oh shoot! Look
Yeah.
how great a coach I am.
Right, yeah.
But that's not the thing, right?
Yeah.
I think the most important question you have to ask yourself is why you want to be a coach.
Right.
So, do you want to be an athlete or do you want to be a coach? I think that's the thing that you have to figure out.
Yeah.
Because coach athletes, this is just my opinion, honestly, are those people who first and foremost look at the development of the people around them,
Right.
as opposed to their own personal development, as
Right.
opposed to athlete coaches,
Yeah.
who, I've seen this happen a few times where coaches in the middle of classes are doing their workouts,
Yeah.
and they go tell their classes, oh, you got to do this. This is a warm up. This is a skill. This is a strength. This is metcon. Go. And just on the side, either exercising or eating their food.
Yeah.
People don't pay you to eat or to
Right.
exercise.
Yeah.
That's what a professional athlete is like. If you want to be like that, just go to Dubai. They got tons of that there.
Dubai's
but
where the money at.
that's where the money's at. But if you want to open a CrossFit gym and you want to be a coach, you got to be able to figure out why you want to help people.
Right.
And I think that's something, honestly, I think you and I have in common. You have more in the tank for helping other people than for just simply developing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is so it's purpose driven, right?
Yeah,
So
it's all about.
I feel that coach athletes, like what you were saying earlier, they kind of have to find their purpose first. Like,
Exactly.
am I a coach first before I'm an athlete?
Exactly.
Or am I being an athlete as a form of inspiration to
Yes.
my athletes, right?
Yes.
So as their coach, they're gonna look on to me.
Exactly.
Now, if they're looking on to me and I'm not performing to a level that inspires or motivates my athletes, then I'm also not doing my position as a coach.
Exactly.
And when you flip it around, you've got these athlete coaches, right? Whereas I feel that these people exist primarily just for one, free membership.
Exactly. Oh my
Right?
God.
So
you
they're coaches so that they don't have to pay for membership, and second of all, that they have basically a bigger, better excuse to use their athleticism
Exactly.
to teach a certain craft.
It's like those people who lose 30 pounds and suddenly post on Instagram. Oh, guys, I'm an online personal coach on nutrition.
Right. Yeah.
Pay me $200.
Yeah.
I just lost 30 pounds. What
Yeah,
the heck, man?
yeah.
It
Yeah.
takes more than that.
Yeah. So basically, our general public, our recommendation here is like really get to know your coaches, guys. And it's not just knowing them on a personal level and what their achievements are. Remember, at the end of the day, it's not really about what the coaches are capable of doing for themselves.
But
what
for
they
the
achieve
others.
for themselves is completely up to them. But what they can do for you is what's more important. And I feel that the balance between being a coach and being an athlete is very important, because in the CrossFit world, double standards don't exist. And as much
Exactly.
as possible, we coaches, we like to be able to perform just as well. All right, what do you think about that, Renz? Yes.
Yes. No, like
It's too
seriously.
big boy fashion. Not,
Seriously though,
no, yes,
not a
no.
lot of people.
I'm
not
not
a lot
coach,
of people.
so-
We're gonna stop Renzi from blabbering out because if you give him like a few beers, he's quite critical about who
5-minute
his
rant
favorite
session.
coaches are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, seriously, not a lot of people generally look at CrossFit as a coaching-driven thing.
Right.
But I honestly think CrossFit has a lot to do with culture.
Yeah.
Rather than say price points, which
Yeah.
I think is kind of stupid, honestly, because you pay for 1,000, you get 1,000, but you pay
Right.
for 3,000, you pay for 4,000, you get 4,000. You
Mhm.
pay for 5,000, definitely you're gonna get the quality.
Yeah.
At least that's the goal.
Right,
With good
right.
gyms and good boxes, right? So it has a lot to do with culture.
For
honestly.
sure. So, what is it that you do? What is your regimen like, and how do you find balance when it comes to your job as a coach? Because you are the head coach of CrossFit Infinitas,
Yeah.
and your position as an athlete as well.
Yeah, that's a good one, because I've been having a lot of that. I've been asked that a lot of times in the past. This was about maybe 3 years ago. I used to spend about 6 hours a day playing 2K.
Okay.
Just like, playing Dota, playing Counter-Strike and whatnot. I had to give that up about 3 years ago,
Right.
because I figured out that it's not particularly adding to the goals that I've set for myself, right?
Yeah.
But regimen, as much as I'd like to say I don't coach as much anymore, I coach about 12 classes a week.
It's just not a lot.
Yeah.
Considering.
Yeah, I used to coach about 21 classes a week. And over the years, I've started delegating that a lot more simply because it opens up my time to focus on a lot of different things. It's not because I don't like work, but I'm the type of guy who brings work home.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So I think, yeah, you and I, we've been talking a lot about
Yeah.
that. We're both the same.
Yeah.
We end up staying up at 12 midnight programming
Yeah.
and reading.
And
So-
as head coaches, I mean, we're not doing our jobs if we just keep all the classes to ourselves for a long
Exactly.
period of time.
Exactly.
I think part of the head coach's job in
Is
the
to
long
develop.
run is to develop coaches good enough who will eventually just take all your classes from you.
Which would
and
be
then your
the dream.
job, pretty much, and then your job now lies on just continued development. right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so honestly, it goes back to answering your why.
Yeah.
Why you're doing stuff. Because I live a pretty, I guess, I can't really say I have work hours. Because generally I wake up at about 7 in the morning
Right.
to coach the first class of the day.
Okay.
That used to be my thing for the past year or so. I've started delegating that away. I don't like waking up that early anyway. But generally I coach one class in the morning, go back home to, my house is about 2-3 minutes away from the box anyway. So I go back home, get a little bit of coffee, maybe have a little bit of breakfast, and then go back to the gym at about 12 or 1 and train from 1 all the way to 4 or 5.
Right.
Then from 5 to 6, I recover. I take that time to recover, shower. You know, you don't want to show up at your class smelling like crap.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Hygiene's a big thing for me. Shower, drink your whey protein, get your recovery food.
Clean your beard.
Clean your beard.
Clean your beard.
Comb that 100 times, you know.
Cut that shit up.
Definitely. And then coach again at 6 and 7, sometimes even up to 8:30. So end up finishing work at about 10.
Okay.
Then get my next meal in. And once I get home, it's all about reading till I
Right.
fall asleep.
Right. So that's a typical day of in the life of Coach Pip. When you train, what is the prioritization?
Oh
like?
man,
Like,
this is where we could geek out. Honestly, I think training and prioritizations are, there aren't any actual final answers, I guess,
yeah.
because it's all, that's where I think Coach Greg Glassman has the genius in. You know, the magic is in the movement, but the artistry is in the programming.
Yeah.
You know, I usually adhere to the three-headed beast concept of weightlifting, gymnastics, and engine. Those are the three things that definitely, if you want to get competitive in CrossFit, that's the thing you have to focus on. But over time, I've learned to think about a person as a full tank of gas.
Right.
Right. So your gas not being not your energy, but more of your central nervous system. I've been a lot more focused on your body as a whole rather than as a muscle group.
Right.
So I go from the most taxing to your central nervous system to the least taxing, right? So with training prioritization, I usually go with what I'm weakest at, or with a skill development at the start, and a big chunk of weightlifting, and then a CrossFit conditioning piece, and finally a conditioning piece
Right.
at
yeah.
the end.
Yeah. No,
Generally.
that makes a lot of sense, and I think one of the reasons why this question pops out is because for the coaches who are athletes or the athletes who are coaches out there, one of the biggest problems that they encounter is, okay, I'm about to work out. What do I do now?
Exactly.
And this is usually the first question that pops out in their head, and I've always wondered, like, what is your take on it, right? I know a lot of people who, like, such as myself, I have a 5 in the morning shift.
Yeah.
And so I've tried lifting at that time in the morning, and it just
Mad
really
props.
doesn't work for me. I can do it, but it just doesn't work very well. And so what I've learned to do is just kind of jump straight into some skill work, start off light, make it longer.
Yeah.
If it was like 15 minutes, I'll turn it into a 20-minute and use
Exactly.
the first 5 minutes to kind of warm up to the movement. And then do my EMOM work, skill development work, hit up some goats, get into the Metcon, and then later in the day, I'll just do the strength portion and some weightlifting, and then I'll just head home. you
Yeah,
know?
that's interesting because
Yeah.
the way that I've been doing it, there's a lot of days where I come in not really wanting to work out.
Right.
Because like you're plenty tired from all the classes you've been handling and all the not sleeping.
Yeah.
You gotta, if you're a head coach, you gotta get used to not sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that takes a huge
Something that
toll
we're super
on your
used to.
energy. Yeah, right?
Yeah, but
Mr.
the
4 hours.
three-headed beast makes a lot of sense, especially if you kind of know and you're able to distinguish which one you should be hitting
Exactly.
first, right? Which head you should be cutting off first.
Yeah, I think one thing that that sort of helped me over time is to take your time on your warm-ups.
Right.
You know, a lot of people.
Do you hear that, Renzi?
No, dude, seriously.
Guilty.
A lot of people just go for their shoulder dislocates and then jump into the barbell and whatnot.
But we do have a few friends who are just insanely annoying. Hello, Justin Hernandez.
Hi,
Jumps
Nico Mauricio.
in, does a split. What are you guys doing? Okay, let's go. Right? Remember, each person is different.
Yeah.
Some of us have day jobs. Some people have desk jobs. Not everybody has the same flexibility. Not everybody's able to warm up the same way. And so, like what Coach Pip said, really take your time on the warm-ups. Yeah.
Sometimes I take up to 10 minutes on the assault bike just to warm up.
Yeah,
you know?
I do that for my go down. What do you feel is the hardest part about being an athlete and a coach at the same time? If you were to point out one thing.
Damn, that's hard. Just one thing?
Yeah. Like what is at the top of your head, like probably the hardest part?
Motivation, honestly.
Right, yeah. I do agree with you on that one.
Yeah. You gotta be able to push yourself because
Yeah.
coach athlete, you're still an athlete, you know? Like a lot of coaches, you know, I don't believe in coaches who can't do what they're talking about.
No, I think all coaches should be athletes.
Exactly.
I think all coaches
I think
should be
all
athletes.
coaches should be athletes. I think all coaches should get into an experience of competing at least once. You know, you gotta get, you gotta deal with the heartache of losing. You gotta deal with the heartache of being no rep and understanding that there's some judges who just really are not partners with you
Yeah.
and whatnot. So honestly, the motivation to be better.
Right, yeah.
That's the hardest part about being an athlete and a coach at the same time.
If you can motivate yourself, you can pretty much motivate anybody.
Exactly,
right?
yeah, because a lot of coaches just end up doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And a lot of people say that, oh, you're a coach for a box. Wow, that must be so fun for you. You can train all you want.
Oh hell no.
So this is the part that a lot of people do not understand about people who actually coach classes, especially if we're talking about blocks. When we say blocks, we're looking at 2, 3, 4, maybe up to 5 classes in a row.
Exactly.
And in the world of labor, right, with the amount of work that we put, so basically the way they've kind of referenced this is this. The 1 hour we spend teaching a class, if you were to kind of relate that to your time being on a desk, the ratio that they've kind of set up is 1:4.5. So basically, our 1 hour teaching a class, the amount of effort and energy that goes into that versus somebody who sits on a desk, maybe on a computer, is about 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at a 5-hour shift, meaning 5 classes in a row, you're looking at a coach who just spent 20 hours worth of energy. If that correlation and science behind the hours is actually true. Nonetheless, what I think a lot of people don't understand, just like what you said, it's the motivating piece part. After 5 hours of just talking and repetitive coaching and just pushing others because they get that energy from you, it's really hard to just kind of jumpstart yourself again and just go straight into training
working out,
yourself.
yeah.
And so I do agree with you in saying that is one of the hardest things to
the
do.
job with coaching that a lot of people don't understand is this is a piece that I've read somewhere. I don't exactly remember. I may have the details wrong even.
Yeah.
But I think it was Julie Andrews who goes like, whenever she gets into performing in front of the stage, she always she has this mantra. I'm not sure if this is Julie Andrews, but I remember one of them. It's like, time for you to give blood. Time for you to give blood. And I think that's what coaching what coaching is about. It's about not just talking, not just facilitating an exercise or a workout, but more of like giving of yourself to a group.
Right.
That's why it's so taxing.
Yeah.
Whenever I see a good coach, it's that coach who just puts it all out there for their athlete. Who won't take that's okay as an answer, or who won't say like, heels down, and you see that athlete without any improvement. It's like, all right, good job.
Yeah.
It's
So it's like
athlete,
they're not
it's
being
that-
relentless.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So it has a lot to do with giving of yourself over.
Yeah. We've got, I mean, we don't know how many listeners we have really. We just hit 1,000 likes on Facebook.
God's
we just
listening.
thank you. Yay, thanks everybody. We're about to break a few hundred followers on Instagram as well. And on YouTube, we've got quite a number of subscribers who we don't even know. So it's quite fascinating. But to the people who actually listen to our podcast, what would you recommend? What would you suggest to them, or what piece of advice would you give them to them, especially if they're like us, who are coaches and athletes at the same time?
Yeah, I'm going back to my first question. Find your why. Because as long as you have your why answered, as long as you have that answered, you could overcome your what's.
My why is between X and Z.
Exactly. Find your X. No. Who good, bro? Who good?
No, seriously. Yeah.
No, but your why will definitely overcome your what's. Like, why are you tired? If you're tired, why are you doing this? If you're stressed, why are you doing this? You know, finding the reason why would be the number one thing that I would honestly suggest. Like,
Right. Yeah.
a lot of people, they derive their whys from the fulfillment that they get
Right.
from helping people out.
Yeah.
Some people find their whys from the fulfillment that they get from improving.
Right.
You know, you gotta find that and you gotta stick to that. You gotta stick to your
Yeah.
guns on that one.
No, that makes a lot of sense. That's really good advice, though. I mean, especially for people who try to just keep on finding reason for why they do
Yeah.
what they're doing.
And honestly, if you want to get better as a coach and an athlete, be relentless.
Right.
That's what I gotta say. A lot of coaches tend to stop at the level 1 manual.
Right.
But honestly, it's a great piece of information, but it's a starter piece.
Right.
It's like, it's grade 1 level shiznit, right? So you gotta improve on yourself as a coach, and then also as an athlete, work
Yeah.
your weaknesses.
Yep.
That works with coaching as well. Some people, they're great with talking, but they suck at seeing.
Right. Yeah.
Some people are great at seeing, but they can't really relate that to other
Right,
people.
yeah.
So you gotta work on your weaknesses
Yeah.
wherever you are.
You got to go back to the manuals, the level 1s, the level 2s.
Yeah.
You know, the 6 principles of proper coaching,
Exactly.
singing, correcting, and all of that. Yeah.
Go higher than that even, you
Yeah.
know? You research the people who you think have been doing a great job.
Yeah. Just continuous pursuit. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I feel like as you get better as a coach as well, you become a better athlete. Yeah.
Definitely.
It kind of goes the other way around.
The
as well.
1,000 reps and the 10,000
Yeah.
hours, those are gonna help.
Yeah. If you become a better athlete, you become a better coach as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's about time to start wrapping up on the session. But of course, we'll do real quickly. What is your favorite Christmas food?
Ha, easy. Christmas ham.
For me,
Majestic ham.
For me, it's a Filipino tradition where you have molo soup.
Molo soup.
Yeah, we
Damn.
have that all the time at home. It's
Yeah.
basically, for those who don't know what molo soup is,
Dumpling
it's basically
soup.
they're like dumplings, they're like meatballs wrapped in
With
rice,
shrimp, right?
rice wrappers. It's the best, yo. How about you, Renzi?
Lechon, of course.
Nah, me, it's
That's cannibalism, buddy. I know, right? That's
with
kind
me,
of
so good.
It's majestic ham. It's something I grew up with, man.
Yeah. What measures can you suggest for people to take to avoid extra holiday weight?
It's a season of gains, yo. No, just kidding.
We're like racial all over again. I was telling this girl earlier, like, hey, stop eating donuts, and then Rachel's like, it's the holiday, she can eat whatever you want.
No, but you know, taking this, you know, live a little. I agree with that. Living a little is great, but I think about it in terms of needing. You know,
Right.
a lot of people don't have a great relationship with food. They
Yeah.
think of food as a comfort for stress.
Yep.
They
I have a
think
great
about,
relationship
right?
with food.
They think about food as something to do when you're bored.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but rather than thinking of food as fuel.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you don't get to live a little. You know, I think about things as 100%. You know, if you're eating 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, that's 21 meals, that's 100%.
Right.
I think that the 85-15 rule is great.
Right.
So 85% of your meals have to be good or great. That leaves you with 15% of your meals
Yeah.
for crap, you know?
Right, yeah.
You gotta live a little, just like what
Yeah.
Rachel said.
That's true.
So that's 7 days a week, 3 meals a day. That means you got 3 meals a week where you can eat whatever the heck you want,
Gotcha.
right?
Yeah.
Because you don't need to eat sweets every single day.
Yeah.
You don't need to eat that cake every single day. You don't need to
You're
eat these
Renzi.
donuts
You're
every
Renzi
single
doing
day.
that. So since we've got about 2 weeks left in the year, that gives you an idea. So you've got 6 meals. So try to partition. Think
6
about
meals.
that. Right.
Not in a row.
Not in a-
Not in a row.
Not in a
Across
row.
2 weeks, guys.
Not in a row and not in 2 days, because that'll
Yeah.
be like 6 meals in 2 days and you're done.
Yeah, you're done.
Let's give
Fitness
them-
is gone.
Let's give them one home workout to do while they're at home and the boxes are closed.
Easy. I love imams. Imams are great. So, something that I like doing is,
E-moms are not electronic moms, guys.
yeah.
It's every
I
minute
wish
on
though,
the minute.
right? I wish.
Yeah.
I death by imam, death by every minute on the minute
Yeah.
of whatever body weight movement you can think of. I'm biased towards the burpee because
Right.
it just simply works so many muscle groups, and people hate it for some reason.
Yeah.
So just go 1 a minute, and then 2 the next minute, 3 the next minute, until you can't complete the prescribed number within 1 minute.
Right.
I guarantee you, within 20 minutes, you're swamped.
Yeah. So here's our next challenge for that one. Since that is the workout that Pippa suggested, here's what we're gonna do. Throughout the holidays, shoot yourself doing that exact workout. Every minute on the minute. Minute number 1, one burpee. Minute number 2, 2 burpees, so on and so forth. The winner gets a free Ground Grown t-shirt in January.
Snap.
Boom. We just threw that out.
Santa right here.
Ground Grown
Santa.
shirts, they're being made.
Santa.
All right. That's what's up. But anyways, thank you, Pip, so much for being on the show. Thank you everybody for hanging out.
You got that crowd.
Right, we got that crowd. We're gonna have to figure out a way to incorporate the crowd being in here because there's a lot of people here and they're just staying quiet for us.
Watch out, Willie
We're
William, man. We're taking your
I know.
spot.
We're like 15, 30 minutes. We're like, we just need silence, guys. And they're super gracious to give that to us. But right after this is done, we're gonna jump right into working out, that's for sure. So please don't forget to like us on Facebook. We are the Ground Grown Podcast over there. On Instagram, same thing at Ground Grown Podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We're all over the place. We've got a SoundCloud and an iTunes or a podcast up as well. So please follow. And then when you guys see our posts, please share, retweet, repost. We're doing this for love of the community of fitness and health in the Philippines, specifically through the medium of CrossFit. As we said in our pilot episode, this is just merely a platform so we can have all these discussions for the betterment of our community. So again, thank you, Coach Pip.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you, Big Boy. He didn't even finish his donut.
Oh, he got hurt by what I just said.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, everyone. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Peace.